Hi, this is Joe again with another review. And for this video, I'm going to be discussing a 2017 Law and Order spinoff, which just ended the series last night. It was a limited series, brand new, and it's kind of like a ripoff of what FX did with the People vs. O.J. Simpson series. And of course, it's NBC's trying to get into that market. And they use the Law and Order franchise to do it. And there's, of course, Law and Order True Crime, the Menendez Murders. And that was only an 8-episode series, which I just said this aired the final episode just last night, or the night before I'm doing this video. So I guess NBC is trying to like rip off that kind of premise, doing a real life. Trying like a fiction, almost kind of like a fictionalized version of a real life case, which of course Law and Order was famous for doing it for 27 years since the original show aired back in 1990. Trying to take it like a rip from the headlines thing and make it like a fictionalized version of it. But this time, they took an actual case and they dramatized it over a period of 8 episodes. And they thought that maybe they're going to stretch this thing out, maybe add another episode or two. But they didn't. But let me tell you, this series, you know, I didn't really watch all that much of the People vs. O.J. Simpson series, because I didn't really have that cable channel, and I tried to find when it's on, and I saw like bits and pieces of it. So that's why I never did a review of that. But this one I did. Because everybody knows what the Menendez brothers, Carl and Eric Menendez, back in 1989, killed their parents. You know, they gunned them down like it was like a mob hit. You know, from the mafia, from the Italian mafia. But this time, that they were eventually arrested for it, and then they of course went to trial for it, and they went through the whole process of the first trial, and then of course the original trial was they got a hung jury on that, and they had 2 separate juries, and of course the claim was the reason why they killed their parents is, unlike the popular theory, was that so that they get them life insurance money. That was the reason why originally people claim they killed their parents, because there was 2 little rich brats. They couldn't wait fast enough for the parents to die, so they killed them to get the insurance money, which is a bunch of crap. Because the real reason is, and the Menendez brothers still claim it to this day, the real reason why they killed their parents was not to get the insurance money, so they could wheel and deal and spend their money, the insurance money, freely, but because they were abused by their parents and they couldn't put with it anymore. So they decided to kill their parents because they thought that their parents would kill them, particularly the very extremely abusive father, and the mother who just, you know, let it happen, didn't give a shit, and just let it happen. Or let the 2 boys be sexually, not only physically abused, whippings and physical beatings, but they were also sexually, they claim to this very day that they were sexually abused by their father. You know, that his father was giving them blowjobs and sexually molesting them. Sorry being, graphic, especially if any kids who haven't watched this video. I'm sorry to be so graphic. With that, so I suggest to saying young kids watching this thing to shut this thing off now, because it's going to get graphic. Or at least watch it with your parents. Alright, so I had to put advisory on this video just for that. The Menendez, Lyle and Eric Menendez claimed that parents sexually abused them, and when they told them to put a stop to it, and they told a couple of cousins, a couple of friends of theirs, when they were away at camp, or some cousins who came to visit them, that they were being sexually, does your father touch you down there, or they do, or a male cousin, a male friend, does your father touch your wee-wee, and all that type of thing. And so, of course, later on, when grew up with the testifying in the trial, they believed there was sexual. Even though they never saw anything, kind of like the Michael Jackson case. Or I never saw him physically abused, but they talked to me about it. And that type of thing. So both juries, in a way, was almost pretty much split down the middle, saying that they believed the two boys was sexually abused, that they were, thought that the parents might kill them, even though the evidence shows that the room where the parents were killed in, they didn't have any guns. They were not, planning, unquote, planning straight out to kill their sons. They didn't have any guns. They said, let's go kill them now. And then the sons came down and found out they were going to kill them, and they killed them. They killed them before, or Law and Error killed their parents before the parents killed them. Had like an old-fashioned shootout, like a shootout of the OK Corral type thing. But the real fact was the two parents were like sitting on a couch watching TV in a den or something, and the Menendez came in and they killed them, and they blew them away. But the parents, in the first case, I should mention that the judge in the case was played by Anthony Edwards, from ER, Top Gun, Revenge of the Nerds. That played the judge. Edie Falco from The Sopranos played the defense attorney. Juliette Nicholson from Law and Order Criminal Intent series. She played the red hair with the freckles. She played the other defense attorney, and when they had the retrial, she had to pull out. And Harry Hamlin, ironically from LA Law, came in and filled in a second chair. Edie Falco from The Sopranos was the main attorney. I think I mentioned that already. You had Josh Charles, from The Good Wife, played the original psychiatrist who Menendez Murders allegedly confessed to. So you had a pretty damn good cast on this thing. And since it had the Law and Order moniker, you had a dun throughout the whole throughout every episode of the series. And I'm telling you now, if this series does not get the amount of Emmy awards that the people versus O.J. Simpson did, the people who vote in the Academy for the Emmy Awards should have their heads examined. I mean, this series was damn good. Of course, like I said, the first case, of course, ended up having a hung jury, so they had to clear a mistrial, well, the judge did. So when they had the second, the retrial, it was just after the O.J. Simpson verdict. And the people in California were getting disgusted that all these big shot people in California were getting off on, they were really getting off of technicalities, but they were getting not guilty verdicts, and all these big trials. Like, the Rodney King verdict, they got off, the cops got off in that case. The O.J. Simpson case, of course, O.J. Simpson obviously got off for killing his wife. You have the Menendez case, the first trial ended up in a mistrial and a hung jury. You had there was also the Lorena Barber case also ended up not guilty in both those two cases. So you had and of course the Menendez case, of course, was one of those cases on top of that, and again disgusted that all these rich fucks, excuse my language, kept getting off of these very serious charges. I mean, the people were getting tired of it, and they claimed, because like I said earlier, because they claimed that they were being abused, and they were afraid for their lives, and they were afraid that the parents were going to come and kill them, because they were trying to object to the abuse, and trying to speak out on their abuse. And of course, the father found out about the time people, so if you tell them one more person, I'm going to kill you. And that type of stuff. So they were afraid for their lives, and of course they used that defense in the first trial. So now you have the retrial, and you have a new DA involved in the case who fought against the abuse claims, and the family history stuff that was born into the first trial, which goes to their Menendez brothers' defense. The judge and they said it was played by Anthony Edwards, denied those claims, denied that pretty much killed that defense. And of course, the lawyer, Leslie Abramson, threw a hissy fit over the fact that, hey, you killing my defense. That's my defense. You just whacked out my whole defense. That was allowed, and she goes, that was allowed in the first trial, and it's exactly the same evidence, exactly the same thing, with brand new jury, and it's the same defense that I have, and you just killed my defense, and it's the same defense, it's the same trial, same charges. Right? The charges didn't change. Why are you changing my? Well, thank you. Sorry about that. Why are you changing my defense for? And the judge says, I don't get. I'm trying to do a video here, folks. And the judge says, I don't give a shit. You're not going to be allowed to have the defense anymore. This was cut out. That's what cut out. This, one thing after another was cut out. Like the family history of abuse was cut out. This was cut out. And of course, what happened was, of course, they were convicted of killing the parents, and they had the penalty phase because it was a death penalty case, and they were now going to spend the rest of their lives in prison. And because Leslie Edwards was so pissed off that her defense was thrown out, pretty much thrown out, before the retrial even started, and she was like protesting the judge. She went to the Supreme Court of it's an outrage. It's an outrage, to the judge. I suppose she didn't get a contempt of court charge on that deal, but she was so disgusted what the judge did that she decided to retire for a while. Took a couple of years off of being a lawyer, and now she's back to being a lawyer. Then of course the two brothers, of course, were in separate prisons in California because they want to keep the two of them separated, and they haven't seen each other since the retrial had ended. But of course, the reason why they had a conviction, it's kind of like with OJ now, what I have with OJ, where he got charged the second time, not for murder, but the Las Vegas incident, and he was convicted on that. That's because he got a harsh sentence on it, even though he's now on parole, the son of a bitch. He should have stayed in jail. But anyway, he got a harsh sentence, like a 33-year sentence originally, because of what wasn't convicted, was in jail for life for killing his wife. That's what I had with the Menendez brothers. I mean, they were outraged that these two guys, many people thought that Lyle and Eric put on an act when they were testifying in the original trial, and so they thought they were faking it. Oh, this is not true. This is just bullshit. They were never abused. And meanwhile, the aunt, or Lyle and Eric's aunt, believed them, and Leslie, played by Amy Falco, says, "Oh, how come you always stood by the boys this whole time? So many people believe they are making up the abuse up. You were the only ones who believed that the abuse claims, and I want to know why." And she told him why. It's because their father, when he was a boy, was abused by his father. So the whole cycle did, because now his father, or the Menendez father, Jose Menendez, was abused by his father the same way that Jose abused Lyle and Eric. That's why I believe that those claims, because he was doing the same thing to them that his father was doing to him. So that's why I stood by the boys, and I still believe that they should not have been convicted, because the retrial was, they said was a miscarriage of justice, because they threw out the original defense because nobody believed the original defense. I don't think the media believed, the stupid liberal media never believed it. The judge, and even there was one juror for the retrial, was in the television show. I don't know if it actually happened in real life, but on the show, the last episode last night says, "Oh, if we were told the abuse, if the abuse claims were allowed in, we will find them not guilty." if the abuse stuff was allowed in. Unfortunately, it was not allowed in. Because it just, and people were complaining about how hard the judge was on Leslie Anderson and the Menendez brothers. I think it came down hard because they didn't want them to get off. That's why they were hard on them in the retrial than on the original case. Because they didn't want the abuse to come up again. They were going to put on the Floyd Act and the crying on the stand and all that stuff. Because they all thought that was just an act of total baloney. But I believe this weekend, and this week coming up, because the Law and Order series ended, I believe A&E is going to have a phone interview with Law and Menendez. Well, at least one of them anyway. One of the Menendez brothers. And they're going to say, yeah, the abuse actually did happen. We were not making it up. We were not faking it. And we were in fear of our lives. That stuff, we didn't make any of that stuff up. So I know I'm on a tangent there, but I'm telling you now that if any of you had a chance to see the Law and Order, True Crime, the Menendez Murders, please check it. I don't know if they have it streaming. I don't know if NBC has it streaming on their website. I have no idea. You can check it out for yourselves. But I'll tell you, this series was pretty good. I think it was kind of like rushed at the end of it. At least for the second trial, it was like completely rushed. I guess maybe they didn't want to rehash the whole trial over again, I guess. That's probably why they rushed through it. But I thought this was a damn good series. I was fascinated with this series because it was that good. So another review of Law and Order True Crime, the Menendez Murders. Please click on the video, please read it. Feel free to comment on it. Please subscribe to my channel and please forward this video onto your Facebook pages. You can check out all my reviews in order on my YouTube channel at rallyc.com. That's OWDY, and that's C.com. That's the homepage of Rally Reviewer, Chris Lee Moore. Please check out all of his videos on his website. Thanks for watching, and catch you next time.